type passing shot off of the return of serve is to run around and hit forehands. And of course, Stan wants to try to, early in the match, show him that he's not afraid to take a second serve and throw it into the forehand corner and catch John going the other way. Well, looks like the boys are satisfied. Nope, Stan says, I'm not quite ready. And here comes, I guess, the last practice. And Johnny Newcombe takes up his stance.
Play. Quiet, please. Love 15. All.
And if that delicate half volley from Newcombe is any test of nerves, John must be in good shape. That really takes some doing, that shot so early in a match.
(30-15).
One of the backhand volleys from Newcombe there that helped to destroy Kenny Rosewall. Deep, accurate, fast, great stroke.
Second service. (40-30).
Certainly the challenger, as it were, for the title, in good form in the cross-court return of service.
Game to Newcombe. First game, first set.
Seems to me both boys should be very pleased with that opening game, although Stan naturally would have liked to have broken serve, but he hit his forehand twice for placements, and he returned all serves except the one. And, of course, that half volley that Johnny Newcombe played at love 15 was a masterful but gambling-type stroke. So, just as we have felt about these men, they love competition, and if you're a competitor and you're in the game of tennis, this is where you really must love it the most. So now Stan Smith, who elected to have John Newcombe face that first serve in the sun, and we have a little bit of a bright sun today, enough of a haze maybe to keep it from being absolutely in the clear, that is the sun, but it's going to cause the boys a little problem. Smith to serve.
Love 15. 15 all. Thirty 15.
Stan Smith serving very strong, confident, deep service to the Newcombe backhand.
all.
First double fault of the match.
Thirty 40.
Stan Smith, under the pressure of the break point there, plays a really lovely wide low volley.
Advantage Smith.
Next.
First service. Game to Smith, 1 game all, first set.
Well, although John didn't break the service, it is always confidence building when you get within a break point. So good start by both men holding the serves.
Love. Love.
Well, you don't make angled volleys like that, acutely as that, unless you're very full of confidence.
Love. Game for Newcombe. 2 games to 1. Newcombe leads first set.
Another fine service game by John Newcombe, but in that particular game we saw some excellent tennis. We saw the speed of Stan Smith and getting a couple of shots as the point started out. A fine serve down the middle, half volleyed by John. Stan had a pretty good chance here at a passing shot. He elected to go cross court, and John was anticipating it. There's a half volley, which really showed some good movement by the big kid Smith. And then he comes in and looks like he's got a good shot, but the long arm of Newcombe was just too far out there for him. He apparently feels that Stan's backhand and forehand are about equal in strength. 1-2, Smith to serve once again.
Love. All.
Well, not significant yet, of course, but it is his second double fault, Smith.
$30-15. $40-15. Game to Smith, 2 games all, first set.
So the previous game to John Newcombe to love, this one to Smith to 15. Interesting that John Newcombe had a couple of shots that were just clipping the top of the tape, finding his range, getting his touch. He lost the 2 points, but they were good range finding shots.
Love. First service. Love.
Well, one sees the quality of Newcombe's volley there. A dipping ball, a nasty one from Smith, but John getting the half-court angle. Smith actually playing that one just outside the doubles line.
Net. First service. Love. Game for Newcombe. Newcombe leads 3 games to 2, first set.
Off the forehand, sometime he's going to get a chance to bring Stan in close and try to use that shot. So it's 2-3 now. Smith to serve once again.
Love 15.
John Newcombe certainly outsmarting Smith there. Stan really didn't know where that one was going.
Net. First service. Love 30.
Rather a loose volley, that. Respectable return of service by John, but not the sort of ball that ought to force an error.
$15.30. $15.40. $30.40.
So from 15.40 back to deuce.
Advantage Smith.
And you can miss the forehand passing shot down the line, but he's always a danger when he's under pressure like that. He quickly counter-attacks from defense to attack.
Hughes. Advantage Newcombe.
John Newcombe striking a fine patch of service returns.
Game to Newcombe. Newcombe leads 4-2, first set.
Clearly, John deserved to break that serve. He played every return very nicely. I'm just wondering if that last ball that Stan hit might not have dropped in the alley. A little nervous on Stan in that game. He misplayed 2 easy volleys. So the first break goes to John. He now leads 4-2.
Love. Love. 30-15.
One might say that's the first unforced volleying error from Newcombe. Fast return of service, as one would expect from a hard hitter like Smith, but the ball high over the net.
Balls cleared. Game to Newcombe. 5-2. Newcombe leads first set.
So a fine run of 3 games for
Balls Smith trying to save this first set.
Love.
So for the second time in the match, John Newcombe has outguessed and outwitted Stan Smith there with that little angle.
(30-15). (40-15). Game to Smith. Newcombe leads 5-3, first set.
So now down comes the test. So Stan Smith, as John Newcombe takes his time about coming up to the line, always a deliberate server, but not a slow one. John steadies himself, takes aim, and away he goes.
Love 15. (15-all). (30-15).
So that second consecutive brilliant half volley from John Newcombe, putting Smith in great trouble, gives the holder of the title 2 set points.
First service.
Left.
First service. Game and first set to Newcombe, 6-3.
In 25 minutes then, set to Newcombe.
Waiting on endorsements to the winner of this tournament. So they're playing for an awful lot. Stan Smith opens the second set.
Love. All. 15-30. All. 30-40.
Well, it may have been a bad bounce, the Jack, that one, but I think possibly John seemed to be looking up very early. He seemed to very much have his eye on Smith. Relief for Smith, but good judgment. I think he always knew it was going out, really.
Game to Smith. First game, second set.
Jack, I do have a sort of feeling that Smith might have
The Fever must be feeling pretty poor out there today. All right, John Newcombe won the first set 6-3. It's love 1, second set.
Love. Love.
John's waiting for a call, but I'm afraid it's not going to come. The back edge of the line.
15. 40-30.
Well, that's the world-class way of passing world-class volleys. You've got to get in there sometimes and confidently take the initiative away from them by volleying them. Good play by Smith there. Just too much.
Game to Newcombe. 1 game all, second set.
And in those 6 points that were played, John Newcombe had his first service in 5 times.
Net.
Love 15.
Third double fault from Smith. His opponent hasn't served any yet.
All.
Net.
First service. Fifteen 30. All. Forty 30. Game for Smith. Smith leads 2 games to 1, second set.
He'll stand behind 50 deuce. Only once on his serve. Behind 1-2, ready to serve.
Love. 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 40-15. Game to Newcombe. 2 games all, second set.
And John Newcombe again giving a great display of getting the first service in. And it does seem now as though Smith is beginning to worry a little bit about getting this heavy Newcombe service back. 2-all win. Second set, first set Newcombe 6-3.
Let.
First service. love. All.
Millimetre accuracy from Newcombe down the line with a service that was awfully well placed, right deep in the corner.
$30-15. All.
I wonder if that was a question of he who hesitates is lost.
Out.
40-30.
Well, perhaps John Newcombe a little bit lucky to get away with that, as he was presented with that gift point by Stan Smith right on the net and on the forehand volley. Fine, strong, deep second serve too from Stan Smith.
Advantage Smith.
Usually, of course, one of the great strengths of Smith is the volley behind this big service.
Advantage Smith. Smith leads 3 games to 2, second set.
Well, with Stan making an error or two, and John. All right, 2-3. Newcombe going once again.
15 love. Love. Love.
Let's go.
Game to Newcombe. 3 games all, second set.
Well, at the moment, in the calmest and most clinical, professional way, John Newcombe gives me the impression that he's keeping a very firm grip on affairs out here on the centre court. Nothing extravagant, absolutely first-class, watertight match-winning play. So Smith has got to make a breakthrough somewhere.
Love.
Ball.
Love.
Ball.
Thirty, 15.
Ball. Out.
30 all.
Well, I think that shows why Stan Smith has served 3 double faults. Anything short of a length, anything that John Newcombe can get round and play on his forehand instead of his backhand, not that there's much difference between the strength of the 2 strokes, he's going to be really punished by John.
Ball.
Stan Smith went for the bait. John Newcombe was deliberately leaving open that wide forehand area, hoping that if Stan went for it, he might pull it in the alley for a double.
Let's.
First service. New ball, please. Game to Smith. Smith leads 4 games to 3, second set.
Better this year than he was last year. So with new balls, trailing 3-4 the second set, Newcombe ready to serve.
Love 15.
A bold gamble there. Enterprising footwork by Stan Smith. Enterprising thinking, getting round a ball that was directed right onto his backhand to make that slightly lucky forehand.
All. $30, 15.
Well, it might have been a slightly untrue bounce, but Stan was taking a terrific risk. He'd gone 4 feet inside the line to take that one. It was straining his reflexes a bit, I think.
Newcombe, 4 games all, second set.
This is the first time that Stan Smith has had to play a seeded player in this championship. The others in his half, all having been knocked out: Drysdale, Ash and Labour.
Love 15. Love 30.
That could well be a very expensive miss for Stan Smith. 4-all second set. What a wonderful sequence of shots from Newcombe. Service return, topspin, lob back and pass down the line. Great stuff by the Australian.
$30-40.
Close one there for Stan Smith. That would be an awkward half volley, but you can see how keyed up John Newcombe is, the way he jumped after he just clipped the top of the net on the forehand return of service.
Advantage Newcombe. Hughes. Advantage Smith.
Much more like the typical Smith forehand volley from below the height of the net, playing it out to the backhand with a touch of underslice, making the ball die and curl away a bit.
Game to Smith. Smith leads 5 games to 4, second set.
Well, a fine pull-out by Stan Smith, and let's take a look at a point early in that game, which almost put Stan in great jeopardy of losing his serve. As Stan comes in, a little late getting there, we're going to see a top spin lob by John Newcombe. He's been waiting for that, and you'll notice that Smith couldn't hardly hit it too hard. Lucky to get to it, it was going fast, but watch that backhand, down the line and inside. Set.
Love 15. Love 13.
Little light relief. John not smashing the ball with the angle that Smith expected, and of course Smith overrunning the ball. John Newcombe still being threatened here. 15-30.
Net.
First service. All.
Net.
30-40.
So with that double fault, Stan Smith stands with a tremendous chance here to make it 1 set all. Newcombe's first double fault.
Quiet, please. Deuce. Advantage, Newcombe. Game to Newcombe, 5 games all, second set.
What an object lesson by the champion Newcombe. When standing there, set point down, he gets 3 first services in to pull the game out of the fire. So chance gone then for Stan Smith. 5-all second set. First set Newcombe 6-3.
Love.
Yeah.
15 all. $15-30. $30-all.
That Smith smash off the bouncing lob puts our commentator's box under bombardment. $5-all, 30-all, second set. And that's the sort of rally play we get and the excitement we get when both men are at their best at the same time. That was a glorious mix-up there. Lovely volleying stuff.
Smith. 6-5. Smith leads second set.
Well, scoreboard didn't want to give Stan that game for a while, but eventually they did. Let's go back to that 30-all point where we really saw perhaps the most competitive of all points so far, as John Newcombe trying to get the forehand by Stan. A let ball comes up. Stan thinks he has John fooled, but there goes the topspin lob that Stan's basketball agility got to. Here's a nice cross court, and they're up at the net with each other, and there's the winner, and John goes down.
Love. Love.
Stan Smith giving us two forehand there, reminiscent of the two lovely ones he made in the opening game of the match. Two glorious forehand pass there. John, I would think, must have been very conscious of the fact that Stan Smith might have gone round on his forehand anything short of a length on that second serve. It's in. So it's set point for the second time for Stan Smith.
Second service.
So after an hour and 12 minutes, Stan Smith breaks the Newcombe service for the first time and rewarded with the second set.
Second set to Smith.
Philosophical attitude, I think, by Smith there, standing in, waiting for the odd mistake or two from Newcombe.
Right, please.
And of course lifting his own game.
Third set, Smith to serve. Love 15. All.
I think Mr. Knight has made a mistake. Love 30. He felt that the man might have called out.
Love 30.
Yes, that was a mishit by John Newcombe. It landed about 8 inches inside the line as Stan couldn't get up that high, right off the wood.
Love 40. $15.40. $30.40.
Stan Smith in the earlier part of the match, never quite getting his forehand volley as beautifully in the middle of the racket as that one.
Hughes.
So from slight reaction at the beginning of this third set, having won the second, Smith has now recovered from the awkward position of being love 40 in the opening game of the third set, and his play now has taken on a solidity that looks very menacing. Oh, what a pass.
Advantage Newcombe. Newcombe.
Games in that second set, and that was a tough game here starting the third set, and that's the reason why instead of the normal 35 to 40 second break, the boys took about twice that amount of time. So after an hour and 20 minutes play, 1 set all, John Newcombe leading 1-love here in the third set and ready to serve.
Love. $15
Just the sort of volley that Newcombe missed then that Smith was missing very early in the match.
$30-15. $40-15. game for Newcombe. Newcombe leads 2 games to love, third set.
1 set all, and it was noticeable then, I think, that John Newcombe was putting his service ball up a few inches more forward and really leaning onto it. And of course, if you can control it, that's where the weight comes from, that heavy ball coming off the court that almost knocks the racket out of your hand. But it's Smith serving now.
Love. Love.
Yeah.
30-15. $40-15. Smith. Newcombe leads 2 games to 1, third set.
Seems to me there's a point that we fail to give cripples to volley off. So 1 service break has meant the difference between the other 2 sets. John has one here in the 3rd set. He's leading 2-1. See if he can hold it again.
Love 15. All.
Let.
$15-30.
Smith again showing that if he's moving fast enough, and of course if he's thinking fast enough and is bold enough, if he runs around the service directed at his backhand, certainly in the right court, he seems to be, it seems to be paying him dividends.
Dan, I'm glad you mentioned the right court because that's the side he plays in doubles, and he's used to doing that. In the backhand court, why, he'll stay and take it on the backhand normally.
Let. Pause.
$30-40.
Third double fault from Newcombe. They've each served 3 apiece.
advantage, Smith.
And Smith's tactic of running around his backhand in the right court, I think, is beginning to worry John Newcombe a little bit.
Two games all, third set.
So the boldness and the enterprise of
balls,
Smith
please.
paying off well there. Even the top players in the world, when you are conscious that the man is going to run round your second service unless you place it accurately and place it to a length, it really does disturb them a bit. And John Newcombe, who didn't serve a double fault in the first set, served two in the second. He's just served a very, very vital one there. So it's an interesting situation now indeed, as Smith comes up with new balls. One set all, two all, third set.
Love. Love. Love.
Let.
First service. Forty 15. Game for Smith. 3 games to 2. Smith leads third set.
So a quick recap of this third set. It's interesting, I think. Smith dropped his service in the opening game, and then John held his for a 2-love lead. Now Smith has come with a run of 3, the middle game breaking the Newcombe service. And believe it or not, it's the first time that Smith has led in this final. In fact, the first point of the match was won by... And one begins to wonder, are we going to have another great Wimbledon title change hands? We've had 2 so far, the men's doubles and the ladies singles.
Let.
First service.
Out.
15 love. Love. Thirty 15.
Pretty severe shot from Stan Smith. That really was a hard hit ball, and it was so low over the net.
Forty 15. –
15. Left.
40-30.
So the fourth double fault from Newcombe.
I think John served that one just to let Stan know that he is going to serve wide once in a while. And he had the 40-15. He felt that was the time to let Stan know he could do it. But he didn't.
Here. Advantage Smith.
I wonder if John Newcombe hitting that service as hard as he's hit any service here today was just a little bit unpoised and off balance as the return came back so rapidly at him. The actual volley itself wasn't so difficult.
Here's.
Well, I'll tell you, John felt for just an instant when he hit that drive volley that he might have overplayed it. It must have been awfully close, and you see Stan looking at the spot where it landed.
Advantage Newcombe.
Right off the wood of Smith's racket. Now that's an incredible point.
Here's.
Well, that's a remarkable point there with Smith returning that ball right off the wood of the racket. It was a perfect lob. John eventually making the error.
Well, it's such an unusual thing.
Advantage Smith. Game to Smith. Smith leads 4 games to 2, third set. Quiet, please.
So Stan Smith in full cry here. A run of 4 games from love 2 to 4-2, 2 breaks of service. The man who was struggling so hard in the first set now certainly calling the tune. So John Newcombe, the holder, faced with a man in full cry.
Love. 15 all.
Let's.
I have to mention that I heard over this phone this morning Ralston telling him that once in a while you've got to serve wide to John on that first court because he likes to move around a 2. That was the first time he tried it, and it worked.
All. Forty 30. Game to Smith. 5 games to 2. Smith leads 3rd set.
You know, sometimes luck really plays a big part of a Matt Smith back in the 6th game, where he hits a forehand return completely off the wood. Now, the ball has gone extremely high. John thinks it's going to go out, but he better be careful. Now he senses it's going to be in. So off of a complete miss hit, Stan Smith is still in the action, and he gets to this ball, too. And up comes John Newcombe to play a good, easy forehand drive volley that he's been making all week and into the net. So Newcombe to serve once again.
Serving men to stay in this 3rd set.
Love 15. Love 30.
John Newcombe missing a chance there to put that point in his pocket. That was a comparatively easy forehand volley.
$15-30. All. $40-30. Hughes.
This double fault from John can ill afford to serve a double in this game where he's serving to stay in 3rd set.
Oh!
Advantage Smith.
So set point for Stan Smith.
Third set to Smith, 6 games to 2.
So a tremendous turnabout here. After an hour and 3/4 of play, the challenger, Stan Smith, who's never been beyond the last 16 in this championship in 7 tries at Wimbledon, in his first Wimbledon final here, leading 2 sets to 1. And remember that John Newcombe, right through until halfway through the second set, was really playing with tremendous precision and really playing like the holder of the title.
Love. Love.
So this is the tactic that Newcombe will have to try. It's always a risky one, running in against the incoming serving volleyer.
Stan very alertly sees a piece of paper rolling out there. We could see it from here before he did, and things like that can cost you a serve.
First game, 4th set.
Well, with this turn of events, I think it'd be interesting to check to 1. He now serves at love 1 here in the 4th.
Love. 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 Game to Newcombe. One game all, fourth set.
And I must say, it's a wonderful situation to be here in this match on the centre court, wondering whether the man John Newcombe, with all the vast experience, is going to find a way of getting back into the match against Stan Smith. He's 2-1 down. It's 1-all, Smith serving.
Love.
Out.
30 love.
No, I might have let Ryan.
40 love. Game to Smith. 2-1. Smith leads fourth set.
Perhaps the easiest service game. I've been told it's the first love game that Stan has won in the 4 sets. Partially assumed control of this match. All right, 1-2, 4 set. Smith leads 2-1 and Newcombe to serve.
Love. Love.
Good play by both men, but great anticipation by Newcombe.
Halt.
Out. 40 love. Newcombe. 2 games all, fourth set.
So in these 4 games of this fourth set, only 1 point scored against the service, that against Smith in the first. But neither man yielding here in a match which is absolutely absorbing. Everybody, I think, waiting for somebody to break away with a quick run. But it's Smith serving.
Love. All. 30-15. 30 all.
Stan Smith there making a wonderful backhand volley after having played a rather miserable forehand volley barely up to the service line. Is Newcombe all right? He's all right. He's smiling quite happy. Well, a little bit of light relief.
Three games to 2. Smith leads fourth set.
That was a pretty lucky shot. Smith in a very good position here. Very, very quiet all of a sudden. Everybody so serious. Newcombe to serve once again. New balls.
Love. Love. Love.
It's a great volley.
Game for Newcombe. 3 games all, fourth set.
Well, the backhand volley of Newcombe's didn't quite come out of the middle of his racket, but it wasn't as bad as all that. Certainly glad to get it over the net. So here we are, 3 all, Smith serving.
Love. All.
A velvety bit of play by John Newcombe as he went round his backhand in the backhand court to produce that fine winner.
Left.
John has a wide look over there at his opponent, who also squeezed a little half volley, not quite out of the middle racket, and right onto the chalk, onto the sideline.
$40-15.
Let pass.
40-30.
Such a fine lob by Newcombe off a rather low ball and halfway up the court. One of the tallest men in the championship, Smith, 6'4". John Newcombe fighting for this game, 40-15 at one time, the service. John Newcombe, who's been in the final 4 times in the last 5 years, with all that vast experience, this is a service break he could do with.
Advantage, Newcombe. Game to Newcombe. 4-3. Newcombe leads.
Serve, that is to go around the second serves, hit your forehand for winners. John did it twice in that game. Things looking much better for Newcombe all of a sudden. He now has 4-3 in the 4th set. Smith, 2 sets to 1 up.
Love.
Stan Smith hasn't even changed court. He's
30
waiting.
Love.
30 love's a score, says Mr. Knight, but Stan Smith was hoping for a call of fault. 30 love.
Love. Game to Newcombe. Newcombe leads 5-3, 4th set.
So that break of service by Newcombe after 1 deuce. He's had a run of 3 games to bring him from 2-3 down into this commanding position, 5-3 in the 4th set. It's put a totally different light, of course, that break of service on the match. Smith then serving to stay in the 4th set.
Love. All. $30-15.
Stan Smith under pressure there, playing one of the finest volleys of the match, that low backhand.
Game to Smith. 5 games to 4. Newcombe leads 4th set.
Actually, that was a very important game for Stan Smith. 7 with straight sets over the German, Bungert. But the position now is John Newcombe must hold serve now to go to 2 sets all.
Love.
John Newcombe really in aggressive mood now as he fights for this this 4th set.
Love.
So that ace gives John Newcombe 3 points for the set.
Just out. .40-15.
Resourceful defense by Stan Smith there. Still 2 set points then for Newcombe.
.30.
Can he do it this time? Now we see the value of that wonderful defense by Smith when he put up all the lobs. Well left.
Advantage Newcombe.
Which is a great piece of judgment by Newcombe there. So he has set point for the 4th time. That's it for the set.
Game and 4th set to Newcombe. 6 games to 4.
So for the 2nd year in succession, we have the men's final playing for a final set.
Quiet, please. Final set.
So the 5th time since the war
Smith
we
to
have
serve.
a 5-set men's final.
Love 15. All. Fifteen 30. All.
Well, John rushing that, of course. He saw Smith off balance.
$40-30. Game to Smith. First game, final set.
Well, the first crisis here in the 5th set. Survived. All right. John Newcombe will always be serving one game behind. That's the edge that Stan Smith has here as he leads 1-love, and now Newcombe to serve.
Love. All. $30-15.
Let.
$40-15.
Good shot.
40-30.
Well, Stan Smith has persevered with this backhand drive return throughout the match, only slicing and blocking the return occasionally when he was rather forced into it. It was a vital pass he made there. Stan Smith climbs back from 40-15 to deuce.
Down takes Newcombe. Game to Newcombe. 1 game all, final set.
A slightly edgy game for John there, as Smith really tried to hold that one.
Gracias.
15 love. All. Thirty 15.
My goodness, that was a cheeky shot from Smith.
Game to Smith. Smith leads 2 games to 1, final set.
And on the 5 points in that.
More about the excellence of tennis, Dan, is the nice way in which when one player makes a good shot, the other player acknowledges it. They played this in great spirit. No incidents at all. 1-2 now. Newcombe to serve.
Love.
Fine return from Smith, catching John just a little bit slow in anticipating and covering the ball.
.15. New balls, please. Two games all, final set.
John Newcombe must have been very pleased with that service game, getting every first service in and having to withstand in one of those rallies a real fierce bombardment by Smith off the ground. Smith, who hits as heavy a ball, as fast a ball as any man in the championships. So new balls then to Smith, 2-all, final set.
Love 15.
Okay.
Let's go.
Love 30.
5 double faults to each man so far.
Love 40.
Suddenly we get, for the first time, 2 double faults in succession. And what a moment to lose control of your service.
Newcombe leads, final set.
What wonderful relief there for Newcombe with those 2 double faults. Holder of the title, having got away there with a service break that really must have given him tremendous relief.
Love 15. Love 30. .30. 30 all.
Having to withstand a really magnificent backhand return by Smith.
Newcombe.
Well, that was a piece of good fortune for Stan Smith there, as John Newcombe, eager of course to put that volley away into 3/4 of an open court, just overdid it.
All.
Advantage Newcombe.
John certainly took a placement away from Stan there with a little bit of a lucky drop volley. They all count.
Game to Newcombe. Newcombe leads 4 games to 2, final set.
So John Newcombe underlines the breaking of the service of Smith in the previous game by really serving a great many of his first serves in there. So Stan Smith up against it now.
Love. All.
That 7th double fault from Smith coming at the most inopportune moment.
First service. 40-15. Smith. Newcombe leads 4-3, final set.
Stan Smith couldn't have played a better game. Last one where he had the advantage point on one occasion and still lose the game. He played superbly, got all the returns back, got to the love 30 position with 2 tremendous returns, but John Newcombe kept pounding the first ball in, which is the mark of a real champion. I always say that the reason Gonzalez won all the close 5-set matches, that when he was down 30-40, he always was able to get the big one in, and that's why he always came out on top in those long, brilliant matches that he won. So now Stan must, of course, take the offensive here. We can't expect Newcombe to make any errors. He's going to be trying to control the first serve. Stan is going to have to do it himself. And that means go around and hit the forehand on every opportunity. And I wouldn't be surprised that on the second or third stroke in a long volley situation that John is closing in awfully tight, that a surprise lob might help him here. 4-3 final set, Newcombe to serve.
Love. Love.
That was an opportunist shot there by John. Nasty, awkward, high bouncing ball, but onto it before it really got to the top of the bounce.
Newcombe. 5-3. Newcombe leads. Final set.
John only getting in one first service there, but by very good backing up play. Who was off a love game. So Stan Smith now serving to stay in this final.
Love. Love. game to Smith. 5 games to 4. Newcombe leads. Final set.
Well, they've been out there close to 2 hours and 50 minutes, and 2 of those brilliant serves by Stan, service aces, showed us that he still got the energy to do it. But he's playing a fellow, that John Newcombe, when he gets you by the throat, he never lets go. He's very, very tough when he's ahead. He's a fighter when he's behind, but the reason he wins so many, a great percentage of the tournaments that he's managed to win, is that when he gets you down, he's relentless. He has that great ability to hold his concentration. Obviously has great desire to go ahead and win, and he usually does when he's in this position with only 1 serve to hold. Trying to assess his play here, having him ahead 5-4 in the final set with some darn good opposition from Stan Smith. The big thing he's managed to do always is keep the second serve very, very deep. It's true that Smith has been able to get around a few of them, and for a while there in the 3rd set, John was shaky on his backhand volley. So everybody trying to get both of these boys up for this perhaps last game of the men's singles. And they're certainly equal in their appreciation of the 2 men. John Newcombe stands ready to serve to win his 3rd championship here at Wimbledon.
Now 15. All. Thirty 15.
So the first service going in, followed by that crunching forehand volley, gives John Newcombe, the holder, 2 match points.